Hello, welcome back to TalkEdu Live. অনেকদিন পর আসলে একটা লম্বা ব্রেক নিয়ে অনেকদিন পর TalkEdu লাইভে আজকে এসেছি। আশা করি সবাই ভালো আছেন, সুস্থ আছেন, বহাল তবিয়তে আছেন। এখন অনেকদিন পর অনেকদিন একটা ব্রেক নেওয়ার কারণ হচ্ছে একটা TalkEdu নিয়েই আমি কাজ করছিলাম, মিনস্কোলান নিয়ে ব্যস্ত ছিলাম। মিনস্কোলানের কিছু ডেভেলপমেন্ট নিয়ে কাজ করছিলাম। সো স্টিল দ্য ডেভেলপমেন্ট ইজ গোয়িং অন। সো এখন এই ডেভেলপমেন্ট গুলোকে সামনের দিকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যাওয়ার চেষ্টা করছি। সো দ্যাটস ওয়াই আই টুক এ লিটল ব্রেক। অনেকদিন পরে এই টপিকটা লাগে এসেছি। আশা করি সবাই ভালো আছেন। আই নো দ্যাট ইউ হ্যাভ আ লট অফ কোয়েশ্চেন্স, ইউ হ্যাভ আ লট অফ curiosity that এতদিন কেন আসেনি। Definitely we're gonna answer all the questions that you have. আমরা একটু অপেক্ষা করছি, আমাদের কিছু অডিয়েন্স বিল্ড আপ করবে। Let me share it first. Let me share it first. আপনারা যারা এখন এই মুহূর্তে লাইভটি দেখছেন, আপনারা শেয়ার করে দিবেন। হোপফুলি আমাদের কিছু অডিয়েন্স আমাদের সাথে যুক্ত হবে। আজকে আমাদের সাথে একজন খুব ভালো একজন গেস্ট আছেন, খুব ওয়েল নোন, ওয়েল রিনাউন্ড একজন গেস্ট আছেন। সো ভেরি শর্ট টাইম, উইদিন এ শর্ট পিরিয়ড অফ টাইম আমি গোনা কল হার। সো তার আগে আমি একটি ছোট্ট ইন্ট্রোডাকশন দিয়ে দিচ্ছি আজকে যিনি আমাদের সাথে আসবেন। আজকে যিনি আসবেন আজকে যিনি আসবেন উনি শুধু উনি একজন ইন্ডিয়ান। উনি একজন সেলফ অ্যাওয়ারনেস বেসড ট্রান্সফরমেশনাল কোচ, multidisciplinary psychotherapist, author and speaker, Global Women Inspiration Award winner for 100 International Women of the Year 2021. সো আমরা অল্প কিছুক্ষণের মধ্যেই তাকে আমরা কল করবো এবং ডেফিনেটলি আমরা তার কাছে জানবো আজকে টপিক লিভ ইউর লাইফ। সো ডেফিনেটলি উই ক্যান আস্ক সো মেনি কোয়েশ্চেনস টু হার অ্যাবাউট লাইফ। আমরা লাইফ নিয়ে আসলে অনেক স্ট্রেসে আছি, অনেক অ্যাংজাইটিতে আছি। As she is a psychotherapist, definitely she's going to give us some very good strategies and tips. So let me call her and start the discussion. Just within a second. আমরা তাকে কল করবো। আসলে লাইফ নিয়ে আমরা এতটাই স্ট্রেস আছি, এতটাই অ্যাংজাইটিতে আছি যে আমরা আসলে আমাদের ফোকাস, গোল এবং অ্যাচিভমেন্ট নিয়ে আমরা অনেক দ্বিধায় আছি, অনেক চিন্তায় আছি। আমরা সবসময় চিন্তা করি কি হবে কি হবে, আসলে আমরা কখনো চিন্তা করি না যে আমাদের কি করা উচিত। Let me call her first. Let me introduce you Herleen Bagga. আমরা এতটাই আছি যে আমরা আসলে আমাদের ফোকাস, গোল এবং অ্যাচিভমেন্ট নিয়ে আমরা অনেক দ্বিধায় আছি, অনেক চিন্তায় আছি। আমরা সবসময় চিন্তা করি কি হবে কি হবে, আসলে আমরা কখনো চিন্তা করি না।
I'm sorry. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. But
let me connect to my audio and speaker.
Okay.
Let me connect to the.
But you
Okay,
also.
now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes. How are you? Thank you for coming today. And I was just talking to my language to my people that you are coming today and you're gonna talk about life and everything. I was just gave a small introduction about you, and my audience really wants to know from your side about you and what you do and how you connect and how connect with people and from where you are. So just give us a little introduction about you, yourself, and your activities to my audience.
Sure. Hi. My name is Herleen Bagga. I am a multidisciplinary psychotherapist and a self-awareness based transformation coach. So it is essentially a combination of being a psychologist, a counselor, as well as a therapist, and using the coaching methodologies. I am also a certified life coach. what I have understood through my practice, and it's essentially only through my practice, that what really works for people is empowering them and enabling them to be self aware. And when they are self aware, uh, then they are essentially on an authentic path of becoming better and controlling their lives. And that is why I chose the niche of, self-awareness based transformation coach, because eventually the power lies within us, right? So if I'm self-aware, then no one can take me for a ride, or no one can, my emotions can't get the better of me.
This is very important that you say that self-awareness. That's the
Yeah.
word that we always missed out. Like from
Yes.
the beginning to till now, we are not self-aware, but we are
Yeah.
just going with the flow. It's just about a robotic life that we are living. We are not. We are just doing everything that we have to do. It's not about that we are willingly doing it. That we have to do. It's just the chapter that we are reading, and that's what we're doing. That's the reason why I really like the way you introduce yourself as a self-awareness based transformational coach, because self-awareness and transformation is very connected. So I'm
Exactly.
really happy. I'm really happy that you came here today, and my audience will be definitely going to love the tips and the strategies that you're going to share. My first questions about life is: what do you think? What do you explain about life? What is life mean to you?
What does life mean to me?
Yes.
Uh, so it depends at which stage you're asking and whom you're asking, right? If you're asking me right now at this stage in my life, I think life for me personally is about getting on a path where there is fulfillment and authentic happiness. I think that's very important. Because what we realize and what happens very often is that many a times we run in our corporate life to to reach those heights, right? Where the ascent is important for us. Now, ascent is not wrong. Ascent in today's world and the way the success metrics are tallied in the society today, ascent is a big part of that success metric. But where we go wrong is sometimes we are so focused on the ascent that we forget to look down and see, Array, where is the wall? What am I leaning against? Am I even on the right mountain? Right? What if I'm climbing the wrong ladder all along? So, uh, and that's the reason I mentioned, right? So, life is about first figuring yourself out, figuring what makes you happy, what gives you fulfillment. And it's very different for every person. Maybe for one person, it is to become a VP of a company. Maybe for another, it is to become the next Elon Musk. Who knows, right? And everyone is entitled to their dream, to their vision. No dream is is big enough as long as you are the driver. That is
Yeah.
important, right? As long as you are willing to drive, every dream is possible. I mean, no dream is big enough. It is just so small because you are driving it and you are going to go, grab that goal and achieve that goal and get that ascent. So life essentially is figuring out where you want to go, figuring out who you want to go with, if I have to summarize, and figuring out who you are willing to become as you reach that path. Because no path is without evolution and transformation. You have to understand that. I might think, oh, I'm a great person right now, but when I grow, I'm going to be the same innocent person. It doesn't work like that. When you're growing, when shit happens, and shit does happen, this is life. You will evolve and change. So you have to have a very clear picture in your mind that this is who I am today and this is who I am willing to become. But anything other than this, I need to stop.
Yeah.
That vision of yourself, that clarity of yourself is the only thing that will make sure you stay on your right path and you get to that fulfillment, without missing your station. I'm
I
using the analogy.
really appreciate that you explained. Like, I really love the word that you said, clarity. and the focus, and the sentence that we need to carry till the end is like, who am I and who I want to be. That is very important for you to understand first at the very beginning. Even though if you want to drink a glass of water, definitely I have to have that focus. Okay, what I am drinking, why I am drinking, what is the explanation about that. So this is very important, that explanation that you said. And the second question is, why self-awareness is important to us, why we need to be aware for ourselves.
Um, it's a very natural thing to do, and for me, it's very obvious, obviously. But to answer your question, why do we need to be self-aware? If you are not self-aware, Arefeen, what's going to happen is that you're let me back up here. Typically, what happens in life, right, the society today, we are so focused on the what and the how. What I mean is what people wear, what are you earning, what car are you driving, how are you living, how are you talking, what money do you make, so the what and the how governs the society at large today. And once we lose sight of ourselves, which is the who, we allow the what and the how metrics in life to take control of us. And it is going back to what I said earlier, right? When we become so focused on the how and the what, okay, what do I want? I want a big house. How do I want to live? I want to live with indulgence, with riches, and there's no wrong here. Even though I'm saying it in that manner, there is exaggeration and hyperbole here, just so as to convey a point. There is no harm in wanting to be rich. There's no harm in being the best there is out there. And as a transformation coach, it is my job to make sure you get there. But the point is, if that is who you are, I'm coming to the third metric, the third tangent, how we are, what we are, and the third is who we are. I'm not sure if my fingers are okay. Now they're visible.
Yeah,
Who we are. Yeah, because I wasn't sure where my fingers were. Okay. So the who we are is essentially our core, our thoughts and our emotions. Right? Sometimes what happens is the how and the what. I need to go this way. Reflection. They move away from from the who we are, right? They become different, and that's where issue comes. Once we are self-aware, so your question is, why is self-awareness important? And this is the answer to it. If the how, the what, and the why are aligned, they are in the same plane, right? Now, this is geometry and
yeah,
mathematics.
yeah,
If they are in the same plane, then guess what? Your goals, whatever they might be, are only uh, are reachable. They are only that much away, as much as you are training, right? The moment you train and you work hard, those goals will become attainable, not just attainable, achievable, and you will achieve that ascent. Mistake happens is that when we run after the goals and we lose the people that we love behind, right? We lose our family, we lose our children, we lose our kids. People keep running saying that no, money is important, money is important. If money is important for you, fantastic. But if family is also important for you and you say, Ki, my family will understand, they're right there. But there is not the same as here. There is there, here is here, right? And hence I said the who we has to be on the same plane. There and here is not the same plane. It's geometry, it's not the same plane. And hence the self-awareness is important, right? So self-awareness is not just you, it's understanding your ecosystem. Who is there in your ecosystem? What is important for you in your ecosystem? How do I take that ecosystem with me wherever I go, so that there are no
yeah.
surprises?
That's I can add, if I may. It's like we have to create a loop, a circle of life. Like, this is my area, and after that this is my family. That's why this is my friends. This is my social status. Just we have to create some circle, and we have to, like, border by border, we need to create some positivity to connect with every single subject. So that is very important. That thank you that you just explain a very very explainable word you've been using, and you elaborate that why self-awareness is very important. And one important thing is our life is full of stress, full of anxiety, full of confusion, and full of we think that we are lack of potential. We don't have that much potential. We always think negativity. We always think negative. At the very first time, if I go to the interview at the very beginning, oh, I don't have that much potential. I can't make it right. So why all of a sudden negativity popped up so fast, where we can just bring the positivity within a second? Why negativity comes at the very first time? What do you think in your point of view?
So there are two questions here, right? One is that why do we have those restricting beliefs? Why is there self-doubt, right? Why is there fear within us? That is, according to me, the first question from what I understood what you just told me.
Yep.
Second is that when I'm about to do something good, why does a repressed memory or that fear get take charge of me, get control of me? So there are two different issues. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to answer the first one first because that's the logical flow of things.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So the first question is, why do I think I'm unworthy? That, my friend, is a large topic which you and me need multiple hours of talking and
Sure.
conversing to figure that out.
Get it.
Okay?
Get it.
Right? So, but in a nutshell, if I have to explain this to the benefit of the audience, whether they're listening now or whether they're going to be listening later on replay, the feeling of unworthiness comes in because of some belief that you believe in your heart to be true. How did that belief come? From some experience. Once we get to the bottom of your life, once we start shifting the layers, it's like sweeping, right? And taking out all the garbage, right? So we take out garbage when you clean, right? So once we start cleaning, we start vacuuming the silt and the upper soil, we will understand that there is some area in your life. Maybe it was your childhood. Maybe it was something in school. Maybe it was even sibling comparison. Maybe it was uh, whatever, something that happened early on in your career. But there is some reason that led you to believe that I am not smart enough as my neighbor. And when you start believing, what is law of attraction? What you believe is what you will attract. So when I believe that I am not good enough or my neighbor is better than me, guess what? My neighbor will become better than me. Not because he's better talented or that he's better. It's because my stupid and silly mind is creating that perspective, right? I am telling myself, no, yeah, I'm not good enough. No, I can't do it. When you're using that kind of language, I can't do it. You are telling your subconscious mind, I can't do it. And who is controlling you? Your brain is giving you the signals eventually. So you are surrounding yourself in this loop of underconfidence and unworthiness by using negative language for yourself. So, does that mean, now I come to the solution, does that mean by just using affirmations every day, I will suddenly become Superman? Sorry, it doesn't work that way. Just because I look in the mirror every day and I say, I am Superman, I am Superwoman, I am, it doesn't work. I am strong, doesn't work. You have to empty your cup. So, which means you have to figure out, you have to vacuum all that garbage away. You have to figure out what incident in my life, now I'm talking about it clinically as a psychologist, I have to figure out which part of your life uh, is it that influenced that unworthiness inside of you, that influenced you to come uh, to believe in that restricting belief of not being good enough. And how did it grow? It was a seed, but the seed grew now. It became a tree. You have to figure out everything. Who put the water? Who put the manure? How did the tree grow? What was the ecosystem that made the tree grow? You have to understand all of that and then undo it, and then plant a new seed of confidence, and then teach your client, which I'm sure even you do, to now how to nurture it with confidence and self-care and self-love and self-worth, so that a new tree grows, right? So it's undoing and then redoing. And that is good work. I mean, I enjoy it, but it's very important for our client, right? For anyone who believes that they are not worthy. Now, coming to your second question, why is it that I'm prepared? I go for the interview and I tell myself, I like all night I have done affirmation. I am great. I am great. I am prepared. I am prepared. And suddenly, when the door opens and I have to go to the interview, poof, all of it is gone. Repressed memories, mate. It's repressed memories because you did not empty your cup. That is what I said. Just affirmations. The biggest. Uh, s- I don't want to use. I want to say the biggest scam, but I'm not going to say that. But the biggest scam literally out there today is affirmations. Nee, just say the affirmations and you're fine. You have to empty your cup because affirmations is just the whipped cream on top. If नीचे का ice cream, if नीचे the dessert below is rancid, if the ice cream below is made of spoiled milk and it is unedible, and ऊपर से you're putting very yummy whipped cream, after the whipped cream is over, can you eat the ice cream? You can't eat the ice cream. It's the same thing. Affirmations are just whipped cream on top. It's just a delicious, it's like the chocolate sauce on top. But once the chocolate sauce gets over, you have to eat the dessert.
Yeah.
And if dessert is inedible, which is who you are. If you are not clear, if you are full of uh, controversies within yourself, if you are full of angst, overwhelm, anxiety within yourself, how can whipped cream calm you? How can affirmations calm you?
We have a question. Don't you think the mindfulness and meditation helps a lot for troubleshoot these problems?
Oh, yes, it does. Mindfulness and meditation. Definitely, yes. Uh, but then again, I'm going to use a pinch of salt. Mindfulness is again a word that is used so much in the world today. And everyone talks about mindfulness. Mindfulness is an art, it is a way of life. It is not just by meditating every day and saying, yeah, I am mindful, yeah, I am doing this mindfully, you don't become mindful. So, does it solve? Yes. But you need to inculcate the methodology of mindfulness the way it was intended. And it was made, I'm going to go to Buddhism here, right? Buddhism actually taught us mindfulness in the right way. And if you can inculcate it in that way, my friend, then really you have understood what mindfulness is. Again, mindfulness is a big scam that's out there. I mean, it is so sad, but it is true. If you
Because
need details,
there is a like a question, and always people are getting like, okay, mindful or mindful. So people are asking a lot of questions. This is the nowadays this is like the talk of the town, mindful or mindful. So you need to understand from the both sides, from the both point of view. So as you
yes,
said that you have to understand that you are a cop, and if what I summarize is like you have to be more decisive what you
yes,
want to do, and you have to create your own ecosystem full of
yes,
positivity, and all the people are coming around. You have to think, okay, then you have to have that filter, that when you have to know that, okay, I'm attracting, that's a lot of attraction, I'm attracting. You have to have the magnet, you have to be the magnet, that what I'm attracting, all things are positive. So this is very broader subject, but still you need to understand a little bit of yourself. Okay, I have to make a proper decision. I have to make the right decision. Either I meditate, as you say, like night before the exam, I am reading a lot, I am memorizing everything, but all of a sudden, when I go enter in the classroom, in the exam hall, it's just I'm just blank out. So that's the reason why you need to have a proper and you need to have an organized method of memorizing everything. Yes.
Yes.
So that's the thing I really want to tell because your tips is very effective. That you need to know that you are a cup, and the affirmation is just the tip, just the chocolate tip, and you need to understand how much you need to pour in your cup and how can you hold on to them. So this is very interesting. One interesting topic, one interesting tip I would like you to tell to my audience it's like, okay, often we get indecisive of everything. I should go, I should not. I should go, I should not. We are
Okay.
in the middle of the decision. So either we have to do it, either we don't have to do it. But still we are always in the middle. We can't even take the proper decision. Is that from the negative thoughts? Or is that we create the belief of confusion? What do you say?
So, by the way, what you've spoken is actually controversial because there is research that supports both, right? That is in the medical world. So, I have to say the disclaimer that it's an argument, and depending upon which side you are leading to, you can support both. But my personal opinion, uh, because I am for the client, like I'm a client proponent. So, coming from the client's point of view, coming from empowerment and healing point of view, my belief is that indecisiveness stems out of fear. Everything in life, including your calm busters, which is stress, anxiety, angst, overwhelm, everything comes out of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of the result, fear of the outcome, fear of getting cornered, and so on and so forth. So, coming back, um, when you don't have a handle on the output, on the variables, on the environment, that fear becomes larger than life. And when that fear becomes larger than life, it starts questioning your self worth. Self worth is that marker, is that moral compass inside of you. If your self worth, and there are four markers that I work on, right? For my therapy, I work on self worth, I work on self image, self vision. So if and self esteem. Now, if any of these markers are not aligned, then chaos breaks inside of your life. So, coming back to your question, is it a self perpetuated situation? Is it a self perpetuated condition? I would think yes, because of that fear of unknown. How do we handle it? We ask ourselves questions. First of all, do I want to do it? Right? If the question is yes, then why am I not doing it? You'll get, okay, so why, what is preventing me from not doing it? So just by adding why, so this is how your CBT or mindfulness works, right? And this is a combination of both mindfulness and CBT. By asking why again and again and again, you get down to the bottom of the chain of doubt and fear as to what is it that you're afraid of, right? It's like a simple thing. I'll give you an example, right? Let's say there's a breakup, which is very common with you today, and there's a party that is going to happen. The girl wants to go, but then she's afraid to go. So you have to question, right? Then why? It's your self worth. What are you afraid of? It's not just self worth. I'm afraid that people will laugh at me. I'm afraid that people will think I am not good enough. I am afraid that I will get labeled and I will not find a boyfriend again in my life. I am afraid of, I have a fear of embarrassment. I have a fear of rejection. I have a fear of not being accepted. Do you understand? Each of this is different. So once we identify what it is, this indecisiveness within all of us can actually be ironed out. It is something that can very nicely and easily be ironed out by figuring out our core fears. And that is something that I do with all my clients when they come. I'm sure all coaches, I mean, I'm assuming you must be doing that, but, or maybe because of my multidisciplinary approach, that when they come to me, it is my job to tackle fears, to identify their fears. What are your fears? And once we are able to identify the core fears of a person, then I'm able to give them a sustained solution. And for me, that is very important. It is not a hack, it is not a band aid fix. I'm giving you a sustained solution so that you don't see me ever again. I don't want to see you again, right? You come to me for 6, 8, whatever our plan is, and once I am done, if I am good, guess what? There is no reason for you to come back. If you're coming back again and again, and that is the case with every counselor, every psychotherapist, every coach, the biggest thing that I want to tell people out there is if the coach is good, if the psychotherapist and counselor is good, you don't have to go back because their job is to cure you and to heal you. And if they've not done that and you're going back, then it wasn't done, wasn't it? Something was missing.
Yes,
It's
and
just
yes, but the thing is that also, like dealing with clients, whenever you prepare something for your clients, from the both sides, you need an affirmation. Like as a being a coach, I have to value my coach first. That means my client is my first priority. And being a client, I know my lackings, I know my problems. I am connecting my coach to get the solutions by myself because I am as a client, I am the question, I am the answer. The coach is helping you to just showing you the way. So as a client, you need to be more productive, more proactive. That whatever my coach says, I need to complete it. I need to accomplish it. But if I have doubt in myself, as you said, self-doubt, okay, the coach is good, but I'm not good enough to connect with my coach. Then if even though you are an excellent coach, if your client is not connecting you, if you cannot connect to your client, I think you might you might fall behind, and definitely your client cannot get the desired achievement that you both are agreed on. So in that case, we need to prepare our clients. Okay, I'm your coach, and this is my structure of my pathway, and we need to both we need to be in the same side, that whatever we are going to do, we that's my slogan in Minskolan, that achieving success together. And as a coach, we have to achieve the success together. So I'm always say to my clients that I am holding a mirror, and you see yourself, and you will actually realize what state you are in and what state you want to be. So I think you gave us a brilliant tips, and you explained from your side like how life should be, how we can implement some good positivity in your life. I think we are running out of time, and with this short period of time, you gave us the light of hope. You gave us some good strategies, and you gave us some tips that we can implement in our personal life. Because nowadays we don't actually dig into a personal life. We always get socialized. You know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We always connected in this social activities, but don't actually connect to our personal. That's why we have been. There is a big gap in between our family members, our friends, Even though you said about the ecosystem, we are breaking our ecosystem. We are creating the door, negative door of every loop. So I think from your side, what you have explained, what you gave us the tips, people, my audience, and those who gonna watching us live, and after that, those who will watch live, definitely they're gonna understand what life it is, and what how self awareness is will help us to transform into positivity, and how we can create a good ecosystem and connected with our friends, family, and publicly, and be a good personal, a good person. As an individual, you have to be self-aware. You have to know how you self-esteem, how you can build positivity, how you can build more energy, and at the end of the day, meditation is everything. I am telling everybody that at least you have to do 15 minutes of meditation. I know you have to believe it. As you say, self belief is the important fact that you need to know. That if you can create the belief, you can be the part of the transformation. Thank you, Herleen, for today. And I'm really happy that you gave time and you gave some tips to our audience. And even though you are so busy, you had a very long day, but still you gave us time, and I hope in the next time in future we're gonna talk about more broader idea. I would like to have explanation from you about mindful and mindfulness in our next session. If you have time, you can give us that. So thank you from on behalf of Bangladesh, on behalf of my whole audience. And if you want to say something to my audience about life, about positivity, please.
Well, Srishti, thank you so much for having me. It was absolutely my pleasure. Yes, I was extremely tired today, like I was telling you pre-show. But energy comes when you're talking, and there's passion for what we do, right? So the energy just flew. Faith is very important, like you said. So the most important thing I would tell everybody who's watching, the audience, our listeners, the choice is ours. The choice is yours to choose fear or to choose faith. Faith in yourself or fear in the lack of your fear in your faith in your ability or fear in your inability. Faith in your relationship or fear that you will be cheated on. Faith in your coach or fear that he is taking advantage of you. Faith and fear, they are two parallel tangents. I mean parallel. They do not converge. So the next time you are afraid, you don't know what to do, ask yourself, what do I choose? I don't know if you watched Tom and Jerry. It is something, it's my most, I use this analogy a lot because I talk to kids, right? So in Tom and Jerry cartoon, there is the angel and the devil sitting on the shoulder.
Yeah.
So, so the angel is the guy who's wearing white and has energy and magical powers and giving you faith, right? And then there is the devil himself who is taking energy from you and adding fear and doubt inside of your mind. So both of them are always riding with you on your shoulders. The choice is yours. Am I going to look right to the guy who's going to give me faith and energy, or am I going to look left, the guy who's going to take things away from me? So that is the only thing I want you to remember. Imagine it, picture it, do what works for you. If you're an audio person, use those words, fear, faith. If you're a visual person, just do this turning. It becomes, I am now using NLP, I'm trying to make you anchor your um, your choices into your body, so that next time in life, wherever you are, when you're feeling low, when you're feeling sad, you can always choose to have faith. All you have to do is look right or say the word faith. That's it. I think that should sum up as my parting words for positivity. One more thing about mindfulness. Mindfulness is about accepting that we cannot control what is outside of our ecosystem, what is outside of our life. And that is how you stay positive. Can I control the pandemic? Can I? No. Can I control that there is a lockdown outside? No. Can I step out without falling sick? No. If the answers are no, then you know you cannot control. And when you cannot control, my friend, why are you fighting? Why are you troubling yourself? That is the essence of mindfulness. It is being mindful in your thoughts and actions, in your daily life, your cognitions, when your cognitions become mindful, when you are choosing faith over fear, that is the culmination of mindfulness and positivity in your life. And that is it. I think enough.
Yes.
We'll
Just
keep it.
wrapping it up, one of my friends just asking us questions. He really liked the concept that you said, empty your cup is a nice concept. I appreciate it. One thing I must want to know is, don't you think we as today's generation we exaggerate and misunderstand what is anxiety, depression, and sadness? Maybe we are sad, but we think we are depressed. On the other hand, don't you think it's spreaded because of promoting this word by media in various ways? That's I'm not going to force you to answer the question, but if you can give just a little glimpse of these questions, if you want to, like for this generation, we are just as we know that law of attraction, that if you are a magnet, you are attracting the depression, you are attracting the anxiety, you are attracting everything. For this generation, I think it's really hard for them to deal with that. So I hope in future the generation will definitely gonna understand what is called exactly anxiety, depression. Uh, just throwing away all the negative thoughts and bringing that you say we have to see the angel. We have to turn around to see the angel, and we have to visualize everything for that the angel is there and all the answer is there. I think I just gave the answer. If you agree with my statement.
No, I totally agree with what you're saying. But to add a little bit more from a clinical standpoint, is any emotion, what is the difference between being sad and being depressed, right? And since the question was asked, I think it's important to answer that so that it helps people. That's the only idea of answering this. What is an emotion? An emotion is something that is temporary. It is a feeling that is temporary. So when any feeling, and I'm saying any, okay, that means even happiness, laughter, silliness, frustration, annoyance, sadness, headaches, any manifestation, physical, emotional, or mental, that is not temporary, which means something that is lingering over multiple days, worse weeks, really, really bad months, you need help. It means that your mental well being is at risk. It does not necessarily mean that you may be depressed, but your mental well being is at risk or your emotional well being is at risk. What is the difference between mental well being and emotional well being? Again, something that today's generation doesn't understand. Mental well being, again, I'm coming from a clinical standpoint here, right? I'm also just saying that mental well being is knowing that you are in a psychologically good state. You are able to control your cognitions and emotions. That is what is mental well being. What is emotional well being? Emotional well being is the ability to handle your feelings when you are challenged, right? When things don't go right, when things go up and down, it is very important that you are able to handle your emotions. That because those two words again are trending: mental well-being, mental wellness, emotional wellness. The entire world is using it. What does it even mean? Now you know what it means. To answer that question, what your friend asked is, um, so if there is a lingering emotion, my friend, right? Please go see a professional, right? Do not do the mistake of talking to your dost or yaar, your friend, right? Because they don't know. And the last thing you want is someone to uh, either reject you or exaggerate your feeling. Both are wrong, right? You don't want rejection of your thought, and you don't want that emotion to get exaggerated. So please go see a professional if you have any emotion, even if it's happiness. You, no one can be happy all the time. You mental or what? Cannot. So anything that is lingering, uh, go see a doctor. And I hope that answers the tip of the question that you asked me. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for giving us so many strategies and explanation from your side. And thank you. I'm not gonna hold you more because I told you that we're gonna have a 20 minutes of session. But from coach to coach,
Mm,
we always get energy to talk and discuss a lot of things. So I hope that I'm inviting you in the next session. Hopefully, if you can give us time. Till then, thank you from Minskolan. And
sure.
Minskolan is always trying to help our clients because, as I told you, we have a slogan of achieving success together. And from your side, you're also helping people, guiding and supporting at the very best that as you can. And thank you for being here today. And thank you from Bangladesh. And I hope you and your family will live long because of the corona and pandemic. Please stay safe, stay alive. Sabah, we need really good coach like you to help us to understand the life very well. Thank you for today, and God bless.
Thank you so much. Same to you. Thank you. Thanks. All right.
Thank
Bye
you very
now.
much. Bye.
Thank you, dear. Yeah.